Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Coming your way, hopefully soon.
Lollipop said good morning.
Hey, Lola's there fast.
Forward.
Lollipop said I have been awake since morning.
Oh, those guys almost hit each other. Got that on tape.
I have also been awake since 4 a.m., maybe even sooner. A lot on my mind. But,
Lollipop said I finally decided to get out of bed and make a shake. Figured I would pop in.
thank you, I appreciate that. You have new status on Twitch, by the way. Don't know if you saw, but you're in LEAD.
I'm like, why are they getting in the crowd?
Lollipop said I noticed.
Oh, that guy's getting fist bumped.
Ah, cool.
Lollipop said thank you.
Thank you for all of your awesomeness. Kind of awake. I mean, for someone that's been laying in
And
bed
hello, I was
for...
just saying he said hey.
Hey, what's going on? Top of the morning to you. We'll get into it after this little surf session here.
Welcome to the Blind Surfer Show.
Yes, indeed. It's bright and early. No, it's not even bright. It's just early. But I am here with you guys, committing to my new morning
The lady
hours.
said good morning, Pete.
Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Why do I sound loud? I sound loud in my own head.
Tam96 said good morning.
What's up, Tam? How you doing? There we go. It sounds a little bit louder. You
And
guys,
Lollipop said hello.
you hello. That's what was that? Borat's accent right there. Hello. Good morning to you from the Kazakhstan. May I please put camera in lady toilet? That was one of my favorite movies of all time was Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen. I enjoyed that so much. I remember the girl I went to go see it with at the time.
At hello, I am just saying he said I haven't watched this guy in like a few months. And
Well,
he shows up well.
Yeah, welcome back. We got an
At
hour
one
and
Foxy Kiwi said hello.
change of fun
Hope you're
going
doing
on for
good.
you. I'm doing pretty good. You know, I got
Tam96 said get Wunderbar.
I got my-
Kamput ein Wassermelon Gestion.
I don't even know what any of that means. I got my 4 hours of sleep last night, so I'm doing pretty good.
Tam96 said it's wonderful. I was given a watermelon today.
All right, watermelons are delicious in the summer.
Deblin Fisherman 27 said good morning sun with
Hey,
face emoji grinning face with
Blind
big eyes
fisherman,
emoji.
what's going
Blind
on?
Surfer Show is brought to you by Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Order a mystery box, pump the nozzle, and see if you can determine the scent just by smell. When you're ready to know for sure, peel to reveal. Order today at blindpenguin.com.
I highly recommend you do just that. Go get your box at blindpenguin.com. We sold a few yesterday, but still have a bunch in stock because Banana was working like a mad woman the other day. I told her we were going to be dropping a video, which I was expecting to be super duper 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 popular. It was Kimmery Sky unboxing the Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. The very first video I did about it went like 200,000 views on YouTube, and we sold like 52 boxes. The one yesterday is only at like 6,000 views. You can't figure the internet algorithm gods for some reason. I was talking about the Borat movie when I went to go see that, the girl I was dating at the time, and we walk out of the movie and she was asking questions like, she's like, how do you think he gets away with that? Like, do you think Pam Anderson like is gonna press charges? And I mean, I was like, wait. I was like, you know that's an actor, right? Like, I mean, the Pam Anderson portion of Borat was actually kind of funny because nobody knew he was gonna put the sack over her head and kidnap her, except for Pam Anderson and him. All the people that were at that event they were showing had no idea. They all thought it was real. But everything else in Borat was an actor, Sacha Baron Cohen, and the girl that I was dating at the time, she was so convinced that the whole thing was real. I was like, wait. It's an actor, but I wish it's like one of those movies. Like I wish I could have watched it, thinking that it was real. That would have made it so much more enjoyable. But I always enjoyed Sacha Baron Cohen. What was it? The Ali G show? Booyah, 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 kasha. I watched him in that. and then got to see him in Borat. These are the things, when I had some eyesight, this is what I wasted it on, watching the Ali G show and Borat in the theaters.
Just followed.
Thank you for the follow. That's probably over on
Sonic
TikTok.
said hi.
Hey, Sonic, what's going on? I got the text-to-speech.
Loinloiterer said, what's the point in typing in chat if the dude can't see Loinloiterer?
Oh, boy, are you just turned into a fool right then and there? I mean, do you feel silly? Do you feel ridiculous? You should feel a little bit like a goober at the moment. You typed in the chat, you're
Devlin
like...
Fisherman 27 said you must have dated people that were not smart.
I dated some really pretty girls, like really pretty girls.
Ian Davis just followed.
Thanks, Ian, I appreciate it. And yeah, if you're wondering why you're typing
Bryson
into
said
chat,
hi.
it's because we got the text-to-speech
Sonic
rolling.
said at Loinloiterer.
Yeah, I think Loinloiteric was the one
At
asking.
Russia 20 said, wow, how are there only 2 people here?
Well, it depends on what platform you're on, and I just got here a second ago.
Loinloiterer said, I absolutely do.
I think if there's only 2 people on whatever platform you're watching,
Loinloiterer said, sorry.
might want to head on over to Twitch. There's usually a bit of a
Bryson
bigger
just
crowd over there.
followed.
There's Bryson, probably following on TikTok. So we're on
At
TikTok.
Russia 20 said, wow, how are there only 2 people here?
You just said that. I get your point. And even if there's only 2
At
people,
Lollitwapas said, everyone is over on Twitch.
I'm happy to talk to those 2 people. But yeah, if you come on over to Twitch.
At Quinn Adams E1L1 you said hi.
Hi, what's going on? You come to Twitch, you follow Pete Gustin.
Melblend666 said you proly tight.
You proly tight. What does that mean? That one I
Sam
don't
said
get.
hello.
Hello, Sam. Welcome to the morning show, everybody. Morning
Devlin
breath.
Fisherman 27 said the pretty ones are always not too smart.
I mean, they can be both, but I think I might have prioritized pretty over other things.
Bryson said, how long have you been surfing?
I've been surfing. I'm coming up on 10
Jenny
years.
said it says 10 and good morning, Pete.
Good morning, Jenny. 10, is that 10 on Twitch, or
Jackson
are you saying it's
said
10
hi.
o'clock in the morning? It could be. No, it couldn't be 10 o'clock in the morning unless you're like in the middle of the Atlantic,
At
I think.
Lucas5552 said hi.
Hey, Lucas5552. Like I was saying to that person who
Mad
said,
Hunker said morning.
hey, Mad Honker, what's going on, man? I appreciate you. Thank you
Your
for
tech
the...
coach said the Cook kids are hanging out on Twitch.
Yeah, well, I think you meant the cool kids.
Petago1 PD Penguin join us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey.
Chris Kraus 236 said I like TikTok in the mornings
Join
because I
us.
can sleep my phone and listen.
Yeah, I try to keep it cool so you can
At
wake up.
Lucas5552 said hello.
I feel like there was an emoji. I think there's an emoji, a new emoji called Join Us, and I don't know what it looks like. I mean, I don't know what any of them look like, but yeah, if you're over on Twitch, I'm aware of some of the emojis, and I've been told I've got the best emoji game in the business on Twitch. There's me with my giant unboxing letter opener banana with the banana. There's Petey the Penguin, and there's Superdog, of course, and just added yesterday was everybody's favorite buddy, Sam the Chicken. And we have let's see if I can show Sam the Chicken to the people in the vertical. Sam the Chicken is way over there, and he now has his own emoji, both standard and animated. So if you want to follow on Twitch, Pete Gustin. I'm, of course, on YouTube, horizontal and vertical. I am on...
777 says, can you read this?
Nope, but I heard it. How about that? How about technology? Man, I gotta say that video on Instagram that's at like 3.3 million views right now, which is a lot for me on Instagram. I don't usually get a whole heck of a lot of it.
Stonahawk 777 says also me.
Also
At
me.
Katna Pinkton says it is my birthday.
Hey, happy
Henley
birthday
555
to you.
Reedard says hi.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And I forgot your username.
At
But happy birthday
Galatwipa
anyway.
says happy birthday at Katna Pinkton.
At Katna Pinkton. Happy birthday at Katna Pinkton. We're also on TikTok until such time I say a word that gets me kicked off of the platform.
Figlin
So,
Hispin says hi.
hello. What was I thinking about last night? Oh, I
At
got
Sears Lewis Jidney says hi.
hi, good morning, good day. I'm probably
Stonahawk 777 says lol this is fun.
oh, I'm glad you're enjoying.
Usama Potion says show dat boy hole.
Is
At Katna
What?
Pinkton says thank you.
You are welcome.
At
What is
Katna
today?
Pinkton says it is cat.
Cat. Okay, so happy birthday to you, Cat. Steve has a birthday coming up. He was born on August the 19th. Today's the 6th, so 13 days. So that'll be a week or 2 weeks from yesterday. It's a Wednesday. Maybe I'll try and let Steve into the show on his birthday. I had been letting him in here
At
in the morning.
Nathankio 817 says hit the like before you go to Twitch.
Yes, yeah. I mean, do everything. Try and support this little venture I've got going on here. Waking up every morning, staying in here with you guys late to
Streamlabs
keep you
says
company.
welcome to chat. Pete hears some of the chat through text to speech, but if you want to guarantee your message gets heard, send $3 or more as a YouTube super chat or 200 bits or more on Twitch. You can also call 760-517-6844 to
All
leave
right.
a message for Pete that might get played on the next show.
So that thing's rolling. That
At
is
Streamlabs says also call 517-6844 to leave a message for Pete that might get played on the next show.
Why did it say it twice?
At Streamlabs says, welcome to chat.
Uh-oh.
Pete, here's some of the chat through text to
Uh-oh.
speech, but if you want to guarantee your message gets heard, send
playing it a
$3
little
or
more
more as a
than it's
YouTube
supposed
super
to.
chat or 200 bits or
Come
more
on,
on Twitch.
Streamlabs,
You
stop
can.
sending the same message multiple
Fedlin
times. There we
Fisherman27
go.
says, if you say fart, you'll get kicked off of TikTok.
Yeah,
At Cabinet Pinkton says, dang.
dang.
Lalatwipa says, make sure you give good boy Steve extra treats on his birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I had been letting Steve come in here. Hold on, I have to turn the chat off so I can get through a thought. Although sometimes I wonder, I forgot to turn the fan on. That's why I'm sitting here. I'm literally sweating. I'm like, why am I so hot and sweaty? I don't know if I can reach the fan from here. And I know the moment I walk away from the screen, everybody's going to be like, is it over? Is the show over? I do feel like a part of me thinks I could just get here and flip on the stream and just put the chat on and let you guys do your own show. But every once in a while, I like to talk, like to get my thoughts in and say some stuff. But yeah, the first person that showed up. Oh, that's what I was saying about Instagram. Holy cow! There's 3.2 million views on the video when I'm explaining why I film with the lights on, which I don't really have a lot of lights on here. I don't think. I believe it's pretty dark, but hopefully you guys can see me. And during that video, I show the username of a person who asked the question, and his name was Dan Boss, but I made a joke and called him Dumbass. And the username it literally pops up on the screen. So like I'm clearly not reading it. It's an animation on the screen. And I think some people actually think I'm reading it on the screen, but most people are like, well, how did you know his username if you're blind? How could you possibly know his username? And it's kind of like, I feel like I've done a good job of explaining text to speech to people on YouTube. I mean, I've got, 1.2 billion video views on YouTube, and I think most of the people have gotten the point that, yes, I may be blind, but I can use my phone. But I feel like I'm just now introducing that concept to the people on Instagram. I had to turn off the notifications because I was waking up every morning. It's like, you have 723 notifications from Instagram. And then you quickly scroll through and tap on a few of them. Text-to-speech reads it. Out of the 723 notifications, 711 of them were like, you're faking. You couldn't possibly know that guy's username if you were actually blind. So yeah, we got the text to speech rolling. It should be reading the messages from all of the platforms as you guys type them.
Fedlin Fisherman27 says people listen to each other and not the person that actually knows.
Yeah, that's
3KW Kahlo says, hi, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Lalatwipa says, welcome back at Lenovo Fan 2003.
Hey, Lenovo Fan, you were here late last night as well. You said you were going to stay up all night, which basically Lola and I did. I was up all night.
Latut says, you see they announced the new trailer for GTA 6?
Well,
Troy the Boy 11 says hi.
I've not heard
Matt
the
Honker
trailer.
says you missed it. The front camera is so good that it looks awesome with no lights.
That's kind of cool.
It's when Alkin says, are you still a voice actor?
Am I still a voice
TV,
actor?
2086 says yo.
No, I've decided to be broke.
Guinness Adventure says hello from Kansas City Mo.
Hey, Kansas City.
3KW Kahlo says, what do you think is the hardest thing for you being blind?
Life. The Kansas City, the very first professional sports team I ever worked for, I kind of took the angle in about 2012, 2013. I was trying to find, that's when I went full-time voice acting. And yes, the person asking, am I still a voice actor? Like, yep, I didn't give up my career. I didn't decide to stop paying my bills. I am still a voice actor. But in 2012, I was looking for all the different outlets to find that I could do voice acting, and I decided sports teams. I'll hit up sports teams. And I think the first collegiate team that I worked for was the Florida Gators. They hired me to be the voice of a bunch of their athletics programs, including the football team and the women's volleyball team. And the first professional team that hired me was the Kansas City Royals. And I believe, what year was it? I think my first or second year working with them, I got to do all their promos and commercials and announcements, and they won the World Series that year. And I was like, oh, that brought you guys some luck. But I only got to do that job for, I think, maybe 2 or 3 years. They sent me a bunch of their garb. I have all sorts of Kansas City Royals hats and shirts and stuff. I still have it in the house. Because why throw away good clothing? But like a new marketing person came in. It's literally the first decision of every marketing person and every radio station boss and every TV station general manager. They come in and the first thing they want to do is change the voice. They get rid of the old voice, and you get the phone call. They're like, nothing to do with your work. And I remember I used to have a hard time understanding that in the beginning of the business. I was like, well, you wouldn't be getting rid of me if I was good. I was like, oh, well, I'm obviously doing something terrible. And then you start to spiral. At least I did. It's a very, voice acting is a very head gamey job. You have to read with a lot of confidence. You have to have confidence. And when you don't book, which is pretty damn frequently, it's a difficult job. It starts to get in your head. And I remember the first few jobs that happened where a new boss came in. They're like, hey, we love your work, but we're going a different direction. And they weren't lying. They were like not blowing smoke. They actually meant that they love my work. They just want to put their own sound on the station. A lot of times they bring their voiceover guy with them that they worked with at another channel or another station or another company or whatever. And it took me a while to understand that it wasn't anything personal. But yeah, the very first pro team I worked for was the Kansas City Royals. Now it's kind of fun. Now I'm here in San Diego, and I get to work for the local San Diego Padres. Got to admit, though, I'm a Boston fan, having grown up in the Boston area for most of my life, and I've been following.
Admiral says help Anthony.
What happened to Anthony? Does he need help? Let's all help Anthony. I've been following the Boston Red Sox, who just won their 7th in a row last night. They'd won 15 in a row a couple weeks ago. They've won 9 series in a row, and I think the last time they did that was like
Admiral says typo, I meant hello.
1912. Oh, okay. 1912 or 1918 or something like that. So Red Sox are in a bit of a historic run, so it's kind of fun to be following them. Someone asked me.
Anthony Hurst sure says haha.
There we go. There's Anthony. Someone asked me, like, because I moved.
3KW Carlo says, but I do like how you live your life to the fullest.
I do my best. That was a choice. It was everything got really, really, really hard. Like really hard. Like really effing hard. Brooks and I talked about this last night. I felt like I wanted to cry about it, thinking about all the things that I can't do and see and enjoy. And life got ridiculously difficult, but I decided, like, I'm only here once. I only get to do this once. So I figured I might as well continue to try and make the
Cameron
most
Tracy
of it.
11 says I miss Superdog.
I miss Superdog
Lil
too.
Krill says, can one learn to be a voice actor, or do you maybe need a natural talent?
No, you don't need any
Liva J
natural
says
talent.
weird question, but Owen 1,234,544 says I remember Superdog.
I remember Superdog quite vividly. He's awesome.
Basil Gaming says hello from Australia.
Hey, Australia. Get a lot of viewers.
says he has a website for that voiceuniversity.com.
Yeah, that teaches you how to
Liva
get
J
into
says,
voice
what do
acting.
you see?
Just had a couple new sign up on that the other day. People hitting up voiceuniversity.com. It's just, I'm told it's just kind of fun and interesting and informative. It's about 3 hours of material teaching you how to get into the voiceover business.
Denutbut5 says 760.
Denutbutt5, whatever that is. That was an interesting username you got there. Denutbutt. Come on over. If you guys are on a different platform, come on over to Twitch. And then when you follow that user, that robot voice will say it out loud for me, and I'll be like, oh, that's what they were saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need some degree of talent,
Jackson
obviously.
123 says, what's up?
What's up, Jackson? How's it going? Someone asking if you need
Lil Krill
talent,
says thanks.
or if you can learn how to become a voice actor. Like, yeah, when I decided to become a voice actor, the big voice was definitely en vogue. Like, whoa.
Lola Tupors just redeemed blind guy taste test.
Oh.
Time for Pete to grab a goodie from the bucket.
Lola just dropped 4,000 points to make me eat something. It's early in the morning. I don't even know what time it is.
What would you want to look at first?
I want to see
Basil Gaming says you inspired me to pursue my dreams no matter what gets in the way, Red Heart.
That's awesome. I want to look in the face of the person
says
that
I
asked
don't
that
Twitch.
question. Oh, well, all right. I do. 6:21 in the morning. Now, thanks to Lola.
3KW Carlo says, what was your favorite voice acting role?
I'm going to be eating candy at 6:21 in the morning. Geez, I need to come up with an exclamation mark response to that. Jabba the Hutt.
Latricos says you need breakfast of champs.
Optimus Prime. You name it. Every voice acting job is my favorite voice acting job.
It's time now for a blind guy taste test.
Rawr. What is the rawr at the end of that? I don't know what the graphics are. I feel like there's a shark somewhere in that scene. So Lola redeemed her with 4,000 channel points, which the person that said that they don't Twitch, this is what you're missing out on. You can make me do stuff. Like Lola redeemed 4,000. What is that? Oh, it's there's a headphone in there, and I'm like, what is this? I don't want to eat this. Somehow a headphone ended up in my snack box.
Eating a hot dog.
I turned on the other chat lady there for
Etten
half a
said,
second.
"Did you like the new Spider-Man movie?"
I haven't gone to the theater for that. I was going to say I haven't seen it.
At
which-
Lilpril said, "LOL, I'm looking you up on IMDb."
Yeah, well, you're not going to find much on IMDb. IMDb is all theatrical work. I think there's only like a couple things there. I think I was like an Ugly Dolls, but you know they don't. IMDb doesn't list the commercial work that you do. So I could do 500 movie trailers, 10,000 TV promos, a million things on promoting all of the streaming platforms and 500,000 commercials, and these are actually probably real numbers. I've probably done about that much work, and 0 of them will get listed on IMDb. IMDb is only for non-commercial, only theatrical releases. So if I was in a movie or in a TV show or something like that. So yeah, you're not going to find much about me on, what is that? This seems, I don't know. It seems like it could be boring, but it seems like my stomach could deal with it at
L1
6:23
Bro
in
says,
the
"Is your
morning.
name Pete?"
Yeah, my name's Pete.
At Lil Prill says, "So where to find your credits?"
Nowhere. I don't have credits. I mean, go to PeteGustin.com. You can play my like my standard demo reel, or you can, if you're on YouTube, you can look up "Have You Heard Me?"
Angel
I'm
3
everywhere.
Fry says, "Looks lumpy, maybe."
What up, Angel 3 Fries? Yeah. What is this? What is this little thing? This seems like it could be the closest to breakfast food that I'm going to find in that box.
3KW Kahlo says, "I thinks they are nuts."
Oh, I can do
At
nuts.
Basil Gaming says, "It would be awesome if you came to surf in Australia. We have some of the best beaches for surfing."
I know. I wonder if they're
At Lil
crowded.
Prill says, "Ah."
It's getting really
L1
crowded
Bro
around
says,
here.
"Just kidding."
Oh, all right, just
Nicholas Shark 14 says, "Do you think in color?"
kidding. Yeah. Ew.
Angel 3 Fry says, "It's a lumpy something."
What is this?
At
This
User
is,
Steam Guinness Adventure says, "If you were able to see again, what would you want to look at first?"
you just asked that. I don't know what this
Lalatwapa says,
is.
"It's barley snacks."
What does that mean? What's a barley snack? What is it? Why does it taste like coffee? Am I eating, and they're soft and squishy? God, I thought I was picking something like safe.
Bill to my liver says, "You need to come to St. Thomas, Ontario."
I've been to St. Thomas,
Angel
the
3 Fry
island in the
says, "Ha ha
Caribbean.
ha."
What is this? These are so weird. It tastes like
At
I'm eating,
Antoniverse sure says, "Seems like breakfast food."
it's kind of like a hard raisin is the best way I can describe
L1 Bro
this.
says, "I don't know."
I don't know.
At
either.
Teef says, "Barley is like wheat."
So I'm eating wheat? This is the
Lalatwapa
front,
says,
right?
"It just says barley snack lol."
What is barley? What am I eating? I want to ask my robot friend what the heck I'm eating
At
here.
Basil Gaming says, "If you go to the outer Melbourne surf beaches, they are quite quiet and chill."
Well, that's good.
Lalatwapa says, "Barley is a grain."
All right, hold on. I'm gonna talk live. I'm gonna activate the.
At Antoniverse sure says, "They make a puffed barley cereal."
Could you please clarify what you'd like to activate or turn off?
Hold on. I'm asking you what is this? What is this packet in front of me? What am I eating?
That's a barley snack.
That's what everybody keeps telling me. What is a barley snack?
Barley snacks are made from roasted or puffed barley grains. They offer a light crunch and a nutty flavor, and they're popular in many cultures, including Korea.
Okay. Is it cool to have for breakfast?
Based on what I can see, it looks like a puffed barley snack, which is similar to cereal and can be enjoyed with milk for breakfast.
Holy crap! I actually picked the one thing that like worked for breakfast. Everything else in there was candy. I feel like there's like M&Ms and Twizzlers and Sour Straws and stuff. So yeah, I picked the one breakfast. That's a good way. I couldn't describe. Like it's kind of like it's like a combination of it's like if you mixed a raisin with like a corn puff. Like the corn puff cereal.
Angel 3 Fry says, "Need some coffee or tea?"
I don't do coffee. I don't need to get that jittery in the morning. I actually don't hate these things. All right, not bad, Lola. Thank you for redeeming the blind guy taste test. I gotta remember tomorrow morning to make sure to put. How does this stuff even get here? Like, how does this stuff even get in the box? Hold on, let me need some water.
At Galabrast Gaming 6003 said hi.
Hi, go lab it up the gaming, whatever the heck that was.
At Antoniverse sure says, "Tiny victories." At Sunshine 3914 says, "Like sugar smacks."
These
L1
don't,
Bro says, "I would try that."
you should try that barley snack. I feel like I just found like a new
At
snack
Basil
for
Gaming
myself.
says, "Only thing I've ever had that has barley in it is my good old whiskey."
I was gonna say barley is like in alcohol a lot, right?
Lalatwapa says, "Breakfast of champions."
Yeah, and it's so light. Like I don't like putting a lot in my stomach in the
At
morning.
Antoniverse sure says, "Yes, Smacks is the cereal I was thinking of."
Sugar smacks. Sugar smacks. Yeah, it's kind of like that too. It's kind of like a light puffy version of Sugar Smacks. I just realized the irony of Lola redeeming that, by the way, as well. Of course, as Lola is now on day 6 of an all liquid diet for 14 days, which
X3SC1 says, how does he keep his looks up whilst being blind? Bro's genuinely handsome.
what is that? Is that I can't tell if I just got complimented or insulted. But like, what does being blind have to do with how I look? I was
Adjeet
informed.
says, nice to see you live. See you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
says, OMG Anthony, that's what I was trying to think of.
Sugar Smacks.
to my liver says, what is your favorite cereal?
Oh,
X3SC1 says, compliment.
Okay, all right.
Devlin Fisherman 27 says, my mom makes this really good beef barley soup.
Ooh, beef.
Jordan 1789 says that was a compliment.
Okay.
Pep the Perguy says, hello there, it's me, the name that gave you a jump scare when your text-to-speech says it.
Yeah, the Pep the Pepper guy. Pep the Pepper guy. I appreciated the follow on Twitch. I got a giggle out of that one. Yeah, all right, so it was a compliment, I guess. But I didn't get like why, because I can't see me. That'd be weird. Like blind people are automatically ugly because they can't see themselves and it's wasted on them. I don't do much. I get a haircut, I shave my beard, and I use the massive amount of face creams that Banana has me use. I've been using cream since I was like 28 years old. She gives me a cream for my eyes. She gives me one for my neck. She gives me one for my face, a different one for my nose. And I use like a special face soap in the shower, but I don't know. My skin feels good. I feel healthy. But I was informed last night. So I was open about this. Banana, and basically every girl I'd ever been dating for my entire life had always been dyeing my hair, because from the age I was like 24, I'd been getting some gray hair. And I felt like I was way too young at that point. Then I just kind of got into the habit. And just this year, Banana stopped dyeing my hair. And she told me last night, like, it's like all gray. Which like, okay, that's an interesting, how can you be handsome if you're blind? I don't know. But I didn't know. I thought I was like salt and pepper. But last night we were at dinner and she's like, oh no, she's like, you're all salt. She's like, there's basically no color left in your hair anymore. And that kind of bummed me out, because I feel like that probably aged me up about 15 years.
X3SC1 says, still very attractive man to man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to know. If Banana decides to dump me on my ass, maybe I can get someone to think I'm halfway decent looking, even though I've turned into a silver-haired, older gentleman. God, that's a startling fact. To me, I kind of feel like time has passed weird for me, because
L1 says, was your voice this deep since Juperty?
Juperty? What is Juperty?
Lalatwipa says, your eyebrows are still dark, so it makes an illusion the salt isn't a lot.
That's kind of
L1
funny.
Bro says?
Says?
Husband says, Pete the Silver Fox.
My
Angel
voice
3
was...
Fry says Silver Fox, obviously.
And who's the original
Devlin
Silver
Fisherman
Fox?
27 says Pizza Silver Fox.
Well, that
At
seems
Basil
so
Gaming
weird.
says, I'm off to bed now. Good night, everyone.
Night. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Someone was asking about, with my voice always this deep. No, I had to grow into this voice. I didn't know how to use it. It was deep enough that people were like, hey, you should go into radio, but I didn't really know how to use my voice very well. And it's definitely gotten more mature over time. God, those barley things are pretty effing decent. And I do feel like they would be kind of fun to put in cereal. Oh, someone asked me a few minutes ago what my favorite cereal was. I have a lot of favorite cereals, honestly. And they're all kids ones. I'll tell you, I don't like, so when I was a little kid, what's the one, God, I can't think of it's the Puffs that are all the colors, like that Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is good. What's the one I'm thinking of that's like a whole,
Killer 1233 says, how do you read what people say?
I listen to
At
it.
Joseph Fuller 2338 says, what's with the penguin?
The penguin.
X3SC1 says, Fruity Loops?
Fruit Loops too.
Says,
Fruit
Honey
Loops.
Nut Cheerio.
Hold on, I will tell you what's with the penguin. This is what's with the penguin.
The Blind Surfer Show is brought to you by Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Order a mystery box, pump the nozzle, and see if you can determine the scent just by smell. When you're ready to know for sure, peel to reveal. Order today at blindpenguin.com.
I doubled myself by saying it. That's what the penguin is. He's the mascot of Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. And if you want to be like all the cool kids who are hanging out on Twitch, a lot of them have bought their boxes, including Lola, who's bought like maybe half of our stock. You can get some Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap at blindpenguin.com. Petey the Penguin is all over the packaging in the bottle, and he covers up the name of the scent. So you, and then you try and take a guess and figure it is, and you want to know, you peel the label off. It's a game. It's a game, and it gives you a buttload of really good soap. I was trying to think of Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles, and any of those things that had like the fruity flavor. I remember I was like, I don't know, I was like 30 years old, and I was like, you know what I haven't had in a while? Fruit Loops. And I ordered them from the grocery store, and I poured myself a bowl of Fruit Loops, and I was like, these are horrible. Like, my taste buds changed so, because I remember Fruit Loops for me when I was a kid was like such a treat, but all those like fake flavors, it was just, I could, as an adult, I could taste it. It was like food dye on styrofoam is what Fruit Loops tasted like to me as an adult. I'm like, this is terrible. Another one I used to love, I don't even know if they make it anymore. I used to love Waffle Crisp, and I just haven't seen it in a while. It's like these tiny little waffles, and they taste like maple syrup. Those things are absolutely delicious. I like Count Chocula and Cocoa Puffs. I like all the chocolate cereal. Those are good. I can convince myself I'm not being super unhealthy if I eat Raisin Nut Bran. That's actually what's in my pantry right now. It's that one is such a deceiving cereal. It's like Raisin Nut Bran. You're like, that stuff's all good for you, right? Like, this can't be bad. But then you know, if you look at the ingredients or the nutritional facts, it's like all sugar. But I do love me some Raisin Nut Bran. Let's see if anybody in the comments or if anybody in the chat has any comments on their cereals. I also really like Frosted Mini Wheats. I remember the ad campaign for those back in the day was kind of funny, because they were like, healthy on one side, treat on the other side. Mom will like the bottom, you'll like the top. And of course, there's nothing actually particularly healthy about that stuff either. I don't know if there is any healthy. Did I press the wrong button here? Did I kill I think I might have killed the chat.
Zimmer S says, do you just see light or dark? Sending to all chats.
Yep, you nailed
Text
it.
field.
What do you mean text field?
Lalachwipa says Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Life cereal is the best cereals.
I was going to get to Life. Life cereal is, and yes, I sense light. That is all I got. I got light and I got dark. Right now I've got kind of like, I got nothing. I did pop on some overhead lights in here. There's 4 overhead lights, but they're not, if it's like pitch black and there's a light on, I can detect the light. But in this circumstance, it's kind of light in here and there's kind of lights on, so I'm not getting a whole lot. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that's almost too much sugar for me. I can't do that one. But Life cereal is another one that I'm like, I feel like I'm being mildly responsible by eating Life cereal. What else? Are there any other ones? So, oh yeah, the Frosted Mini Wheats, like the blueberry and the strawberry. Does anybody remember Frankenberry? There was Count Chocula. Oh, no, that's not even the one that I like. There was Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and...
The Blind husband says Frosted Flakes in the microwave so you warm up the milk and then you eat them. So good.
Ew, is that a thing? I never thought about doing that. That's interesting. I remember when I switched from growing up,
Zimmer says, will you collab with anyone one day? Angel 3 Fry says scary cereal. No thanks.
What's wrong with cereal? Warm cereal, kind of, for some reason, this sounds kind of gross to me.
The Blind husband says it's really good. The milk tastes so good warm.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds weird. I feel like I have to try it.
Says Blueberry.
Yeah, Blueberry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula. Blueberry, I think it's been discontinued.
Anton says Blueberry makes blue milk.
Yeah.
Lalachwipa says it sounds soggy.
Yeah, it does sound soggy.
Devlin Fisherman 27 says, what is your opinion on grape nuts?
Oh my God.
Artist Nashio says, do you know about Scott the Woz?
No. Have you guys had grape nuts? Like, first of all, they come in a small box, so I should have known. I didn't know what I was getting into when I got grape nuts the very first time. I poured a bowl of cereal of grape nuts, like it was a normal bowl, like it was like Frosted Flakes or something like that, or Honey Nut Cheerios, and I poured like this whole thing in there, and then you pour the milk in, and it just kind of like starts to fill up. The things, they're heavy as hell, and they don't float, they don't move, nothing. And I start eating the grape nuts, and I eat like 5 spoonfuls, and I'm like, oh, I'm full. It's like literally like putting like pebbles in your stomach. They're so heavy. They're so. I wonder if those are supposed to be good for you as well. I
says
think
my
there's
dog
some
loves grape
cereal.
nuts.
Dogs love grape. Can your dogs eat grape nuts? Is that safe for them to do?
Angel 3 Fry says grape nuts tasted okay and unique when I first had it as a kid, but having a whole bowl is pretty horrible. Yes.
Yeah. Like anything more than like 5 spoonfuls, you're just kind of like, whoa, this is a lot. I haven't had that.
Says my first time having frosted mini wheats, I loved it so much, not realizing how much fiber was in there. Let's just say I was more careful after that.
That's pretty good.
Nashio says I heard grape nuts is an edible form of torture.
Yeah, I feel like that's about right. There's really nothing enjoyable about the grape nuts, but Raisin Nut Bran. Oh, and there was another one.
KW Kahlo says the penguin looks like from Surf's Up.
People keep saying
Fiddlin'
that.
Husband says lol.
I can't tell you. I don't know
Fisherman
what the penguin.
27 says I put honey on them and wait till they get soggy.
Ew, gross, soggy cereal. I don't want soggy cereal. So I was a kid. I was growing up in the 80s, and like before the 80s, like I swear to God, I don't even know when I was like a little kid, there was just Cheerios. Like that's it. There was Cheerios. I don't even think they had Honey Nut Cheerios. I might be wrong about the date. Maybe they came out in the 60s and I just wasn't aware. But like as the 80s went on, they started adding like more and more flavors and more options. I mean, I'm talking like everything. Like there weren't options of anything when I was a kid. Like everybody had the same toaster. Everybody had the same TV. Like you go to the department store back in the day, and it's like you go to the TV section, and there's a 19-inch one and a 24-inch one. Which one of the two do you want? And like that was your option. And you go to get like a toaster, or like when the microwave was invented. I was alive when the microwave came out, and you went and there was a microwave, and you went to everybody's house, and like basically everybody had the same exact stuff because there just wasn't a lot of options. But I remember throughout the 80s, there was like more and more like cereal options, and they kept trying to fool us. Oh, this is work. What do they want? It's no, it's just someone saying thank you for my work. I like it when they say thank you. They appreciate my voiceover work. That was radio station WKNR in Cleveland that I'm the voice of. They're the home of the Browns and the Guardians and the Cavaliers, and I get to follow Cleveland sports pretty closely. By being the voice of that station. So thanks to them for letting me be their voiceover guy. So they kept trying to fake us out and thinking that like all the morning breakfast cereal was healthy. And I remember when they came out with Basic 4, and I think my mom suggested it. She's like, we're going to get you some Basic 4. And I was like, that sounds, it's like the Basic 4 food groups. Like they tried really hard to make you think it was healthy. And she's like, yeah, we're going to get you some Basic 4. You're going to start your day with the 4 food groups. And I guess when you throw milk in there, that gave you the last one, the whole food pyramid that they fooled everybody with a long time ago. But then she got the Basic 4 and brought it home, and that was also filled with a ton of sugar. And I was like, hey, wait, I don't hate this stuff. Yeah, keep giving me some more Basic 4. But the cereal options were so limited when I was a little kid. Like there wasn't even good sweets. My mom used to eat Special K, and I remember the day that I figured out she used to have this little cup of sugar in the house, and I don't know, it made me think of it. I'm like, this cereal is crap. It just tastes terrible. It needs to be sweeter. And so I took her. Hey,
Nolu56 just followed.
Thank you, Nola56. I appreciate that. First follow of the day over on Twitch. I'd like to pick up more. It's just it's where most of the. Hey, did we just reach the follower goal with one?
We reached our followers goal of 860.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. We must have gotten some followers in the middle of the night. The follower goal, I think it usually resets to give me like 10 every day. It's going to take me forever to get to 2.5 million like I have on YouTube. If I did 10 a day and I wanted to get to 2.5 million, I think that would take, 25,000 days, 250,000 days. It would take a very long time. I can't do math this early in the morning. Give me a break. But yeah, we need to get some more followers over there. Come on over to Twitch. You can make me do stuff with your channel points, and you can also get all sorts of stuff read out loud, like that person's username. So I would take she had this little cup of sugar. I don't know, maybe she made coffee or tea. I don't remember if she drank coffee or tea, but there was a little thing of sugar, and I used to sprinkle a layer of sugar over her Special K cereal. And I was like, oh my God, this makes it so much better. So I put like this thin layer of sugar on the top layer of the Special K, and I'd eat that top layer. And then I'd take another little spoonful of sugar and like put the sugar over the next layer of cereal. And then I remembered I got even smarter. I started taking strawberries that you'd buy at the grocery store, and I would slice up the strawberries.
At Alex Gurdon 3901 says, man, I'm so happy to see you are still around. Haven't seen your vids in forever.
Well, I feel like that's a good thing. For a while.
Sigmund Husband says, quick tip, could we redeem channel points to make you play video games for 2 to 3 minutes?
But how? Well, no.
At user Steam Guinness Adventure says, what's your favorite thing from the 80s? At Deadpool Wolverine says, said hi.
Hi, what's up there? I don't know what I could play. Like, and then, wasn't it you who was saying the other day? It might have been the blind husband, or I can't remember if it was the blind husband or blind fisherman. All us blind people, I'm confusing us. Someone was saying, your setup's pretty complicated, and I do have an awful lot going on in this studio. So adding in a video game might make it a little, even a little bit more difficult. I mean, you think about the time. So I was between like 3 and 13 or like 3 and 12 in the 80s. Someone just asked me what my favorite thing from the 80s was. I mean, just think of the time when you were like between 3 and 12 or 3, 13. Like everything was awesome back then. But I just, the thing that I back in my day, like when I was a kid, when I was that age, not when I was 3, but maybe when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I got on my bike and I went to my friend's house. And then we'd bike somewhere. We'd go to the woods, or we'd go like find some other friends and we'd play a basketball game or play a football game or, play a street hockey game. Like we all just went out on our own, and our parents weren't, I don't even think they were concerned back then. No one had tracking devices on us. Nobody had a cell phone. You just tell, it was like understood, like, hey, on Saturday, like maybe you'll be at the basketball court, or maybe you won't, maybe you'll be at the park, or maybe you won't. And we never had trouble. We just met up. You just find somebody to hang out with. You go for a bike ride, you go biking in the woods or something. And it was just fun. It was just, and nobody was worried. Like there's way less worries back then. You're just sending kids out on their own to have a good time. And they did. And I also like the music from the 80s. Like, I mean, just the music in the 80s was, I enjoyed all that stuff growing up, listening to like Madonna and Michael Jackson and Huey Lewis, and then, Billy Idol, Motley Crue. There's the music in the 80s was super fun. And I think I might.
Doing It Blind just followed.
Doing It. I bet you Doing It Blind was doing it blind. See, I'm getting how that robot reads things. I think Doing It is definitely doing it blind, which is kind of a cool username. I like that one. But thank you for coming on over and following on Twitch. That's at Pete Gustin. And as you're watching, you will redeem channel points. And we can try and think of more. If you guys think of more things that I can do with channel points right now, it's you can do voiceover voice activate. Make me do a voiceover voice for 2 minutes. You can make me shut up and listen to just the text to speech for 90 seconds, or you can make me do a blind guy taste test. But if you think of other things that I should do for channel points, hit me up at blindsurfershow@yahoo.com. Also, this might not help the person who's doing it blind, but there are a bunch of cool emojis over there. LT made a few, still got to load up some of those. But you get to utilize those on other channels across Twitch when you follow me as well.
Paladroon just followed.
Thank you, Paladroon. I appreciate that. That's our third on the day. Not like I'm keeping track or anything, but thank you for making Steve's head pop up and for letting me hear your username. See, we're getting some traction going on Twitch. Pete Gustin is the username on Twitch. And because they put everything in one interface, you can choose. You can tap a button and watch vertical or horizontal on the same feed. So right now, people on YouTube, like if you're watching on YouTube horizontal, someone's probably watching there right now, and they're like, dude, there's like 3 people in this chat. But there might be like another 15 or 20 people in the YouTube vertical. But for some reason, YouTube can't figure out to merge the 2 chats together. I do it by pressing this button and putting them up on the screen. But What is
At
that?
Jenny says yay.
Jenny just redeemed voice over voice.
Oh.
Activate.
Okay.
So it's time for Pete to break out his big voice. Yay.
I didn't know you had that many channel points, Jenny, but I guess you have been watching for a while. All right, so
Well, for
that
your
means I
whole
got to
life?
do 2 minutes of a voiceover voice, but I'm putting the chat on because what did I do last night? I talked about the origin of Blind Penguin soap. So I need some ideas of what the heck I should talk about during voiceover voice activate. See, like I said, these are, it's kind of fun.
Alex Gooden says, I was wondering why there were 2 YouTube streams. Makes sense now.
Yeah, there's one horizontal and one vertical. All right, so give me some ideas. So ABC Jenny redeemed the voiceover voice
Blind
activate.
says there needs to be a mod in here to manage the chat.
Which chat? It doesn't seem like the chat's having any problems. Seems actually kind of quiet. So I got,
Lalatrapa says I am here.
yeah, and Lola is here. Lola is managing
Blind
the
says
chat.
I Twitch.
I
Lalatrapa
Twitch.
says nothing to manage.
Yeah, doesn't seem
Siglin
like.
Husband says the most fun sports you've ever done in your life.
Oh.
At Abdullahak 2204 says, hey Sarah, right now I'm eating blueberry sweet that's so yum. Pete now 9 are in long form.
Hey, Abdul.
Dinah Klein
Nine.
says at okay.
Nine in the
At
horizontal.
user Steam Guinness Adventure says do it in a radio show voice actor voice. At Abdullahak 2204 says talk about serial he.
We've done a
At
lot of
Gothic has little
serial.
Shapov Gothic says ghost story.
Ghost story. I don't have a ghost story in my head right now. I'm trying to think of sports. Sports could be kind
At
of
Javisal
fun.
Cedo 921 says honey. Crunch cereal was the best.
Honey Crunch cereal. I don't remember that one. Trying to think if I can do. Can I do 2 minutes of voiceover voice activate talking about the sports that I played when I was a kid? Maybe. Well, we'll try it. We'll see what I can do here. All right, Jenny, you redeemed your 4,000 points, which seems like a lot. So hopefully I'll hopefully I'll be able to come up with something pretty good. I'm stalling as I'm trying to think of like the sports I played when I was a little kid. When I was a little child, and I had just enough vision to play sports with all my friends, I started by playing soccer, because every little kid played soccer. And I remember I watched Pele on TV, and all I wanted to do was a bicycle kick. So I went to practice day after day after day, wearing my little cleats and my little shin guards, learning how to pass the ball, how to kick the ball. Never kick it with your toe. You don't have any control over it when you kick it with your toe. You need to kick it with the inside of your foot, is what my coach kept telling me again and again. But I didn't care about where I was supposed to kick the ball with my foot. I wanted to do a bicycle kick. And so finally, one day, I approached my coach and said, when do I get to learn how to do a bicycle kick? And he said, I'm not gonna teach you how to do a bicycle kick. You'll smack your head on the ground. And I was like, but that's why I wanted to play soccer, to do a bicycle kick. So one day, after practice, it was just me and my friends. And I told one of them, throw the ball up high, throw it in my direction, make it come towards my head. I will jump up in the air, spin through the air, and kick the ball with my foot right into the goal, just like I saw Pele do on TV. And as the ball flew towards me, and as I left the ground, gravity being defied, spinning through the air, feeling it whooshing through my hair as I spun upside down, I landed on my head. And my coach was right. It really friggin' hurt. And I didn't kick the ball either. It just went flying by. And all my friends laughed. And one of them said, hey, Coach Sawyer was right. You totally smacked your head on the ground. And I was like, yeah, that sucked. There, how's that? Is that worth your 4,000 points, Jenny? Me playing soccer as a little kid.
Lalatwipa says lol.
I don't.
Join it blind says, by the way, welcome to Twitch.
Alex Garden just followed.
Thank you, Alex Garden. I appreciate the follow. You came at an interesting time when I was overly heavily narrating.
At Jenny says yes, I loved it.
Me too.
At James Gardner PZ3RL says D. Thiglin Husband says Jenny loves hearing stories about people hurt.
Angeli Fries just redeemed 90 seconds of only the text-to-speech chat.
Actually,
So
Fries,
it's time for Pete to shut up.
how did you get so many channel points? I thought 4,000 points was a lot. I didn't know I didn't know you had that many. All right, so now it's the exact opposite. We done the blind guy taste test. I did hopefully that was about a 2-minute story of me doing a bicycle kick.
Nick 9111 just followed.
Thank you, Nick 9111 9111. I appreciate the follow over there on Twitch. See, now everybody's going to come over so they can start redeeming channel points. So I'm going to switch this back over to the text to speech because wait, what's that one? I don't even know what that noise is.
Lola Tupples
it's
gifted a tier 1 subscription to Nick 9111.
Welcome, Nick 9111. You showed up on Twitch, followed, and got a free subscription from the most generous person on the entire planet, Lola Tupaws. See, all sorts of benefits when you follow on Twitch. So I'm going to switch over to the text to speech because they just redeemed the Pete has to shut up thing. I'll shut up from the first time I hear the first message. I will be quiet for 90 seconds. There is, we've got some spam. We got spam filters on there, and we have mods. So don't say anything stupid. If you say something stupid, I'm gonna have to cut it off, and it's gonna ruin it. So don't say anything like inappropriate. But 90 seconds.
Super chat
See
or
if I can
200
stay
bits or
quiet.
more
From
on
the moment
Twitch,
I hear the
you can.
first, there we go.
At user
Set timer for 90
51PGHJX6U says,
seconds.
bro, I've been subscribed to you for ages.
90 seconds.
Nick 9111 says, thanks Lola, cheers. Thedlin Fisherman 27 says, yes it is. Thedlin Fisherman 27 says, yes, shut up Pete. At user 51PGHJX6U says, said hi. At Gothicass Little Shapoff Gothic says, I just posted how I almost became blind after a botched laser operation. Lalatwipa says, Nick is my buddy from Kimmery's stream. Doinit Blind says, I love being on Twitch. Lalatwipa says, blind. Kasturlab says, Pete began losing his eyesight at the age of 8 due to a genetic disorder known as Stargardt's disease.
Callan Hunter
Currently, he only has
77
light
just
sensitivity
followed.
with no ability to detect images, detail or objects of any kind. Thiglin Husband says, hey Pete, who is that looking in the window behind you? It looks like an old man. Angel 3 Fry says, now I gotta type my message again. Those rock hopper penguins all look exactly the same, but people think of Surf's Up just cause of the movie. Voyaging 2855 says, bro, I'm just dropping in to say I found this one series about an American getting dropped into your average D&D world, but he is given full unfettered access to the entire US military, but he gotta pretend it's just magic when he summons an A10 warthog, and I just heard a count I needed to share. I cast Falling Sun, you son of a. It immediately gets cut off by an explosion. I just had to share that count, lol. At James Gardner PZ3RL says hi. At Lucius says Pete is actually 4 feet 10J. Thedlin Fisherman 27 says, I hope you know I'm joking. At King Grexy 293 says hi. At user 51PGHJX6U says, how is your day going? At user Steamenginus Adventure says, the universe is actually a sentient, multidimensional sourdough starter, and every time you sneeze, you accidentally colonize an alternate reality with invisible, neon pink space manatees.
I read that same book.
At James Gardner PZ3RL says, I'm here.
What's up, James?
At King
Good
Grexy
morning.
293 says, said hi.
I did it. I survived 90 seconds of being quiet.
7808 says, hope everyone have a good work and school day. Love y'all.
Hi, Sarah. Love you too.
At Peppa I says, what's your favorite music genre?
Thank you for coming
At
in and saying hi,
Sarah
Sarah.
says something stupid.
Appreciate it.
Voyaging
Something stupid.
2855 says, bro, the stream lagged at the perfect time as it was reading the count. At Lucius says, Pete is a flat earther.
Don't tell me. No,
At
why would...
Gothicass Little Shapoff Gothic says, Optimus.
At Twisted Penguin Flies just followed.
Ooh, Twisted Penguin Flies. I feel like I get followers. A lot of people that are their username is Banana. They follow me because of my wife Banana. They're like, hey, I like bananas, I'm gonna follow. And then I feel like I get a bunch of penguin followers as well, because of the blind penguin. So yeah, I mean, I guess I've got a rock hopper. Someone just said the stream lagged. I hope it's not lagging. I'm hoping I can get through this morning without any technical issues. I would love that. That'd be great. But Banana, I don't even know if she saw Surf's Up. She came up with the rock hopper penguin because we thought blind penguin was cool for the name of the soap. We just thought the penguin thing was kind of cool. And she was doing all sorts. I had suggested, I thought the macaroni penguin was kind of cool. I'd met one of them at SeaWorld once. And I was like, the guy with like the fun hair, the macaroni penguin. And she read about the macaroni penguin and nothing like resonated with her. And she found the rock hopper penguin And she's like, this guy like has to like traverse up these crazy rocks, and he has this difficult life, and but he like makes it work. And she's like, that's the penguin that you are. And then of course we launched the company. Everybody's like, hey, that's the Surf's Up penguin. And I was like, well, that guy in Surf's Up could see. Mine's blind. But yeah, I guess I've got a rock hopper penguin and a surfboard. So obviously people are going to think of the movie, but that was not our intention. This is, Petey the penguin, and I'm Pete the blind surfer, and we're just different species of each other. Thank you for redeeming the. I don't know why that's so hard for me. It's so hard for me to sit there and be quiet. I always just picture the person coming into the stream at that exact moment, and I'm just sitting there being like a mime, being like, and then all that's happening is like texts are being read out loud. So I'm always like, that's like the most nerve-wracking one for me. Pete has to shut up for 90 seconds and listen to the chat, but you guys did a good job.
2090 says AII, it's Grant Gustin.
That's the Flash.
At Sarahcam 7808 says banana is sweet and thoughtful.
Banana is sweet and thoughtful.
2090 says he's live on YouTube.
I am, and I don't deserve her awesomeness. She's a very, very, very sweet girl who's put up with a lot in being with me over the years. I'm a lot. I'm a lot to be in a relationship with. So I love her lots. And
At Sarahcam 7808 says good morning, James.
Glad that we tied the knot at the
At
the
James
very end
Gardner
of last year.
PZ3RL says how are you?
How are you? How hopefully the day is going well in Tejas.
Kimbo14 says good morning.
Good morning, Kimbo. I don't know if I heard your username yet. Did you sleep in? Did you sleep in today? You missed if you just started, you missed Twitch is doing this thing now. It's doing auto clips. I don't know how it determines what the best clips from the show are, but I woke up this morning and there was 3 of them. It was
Lalatwipa says good morning at Kimbo14.
Hey Kimbo. There was one of Brooks talking about getting shot in the nipple with a paint gun. There was one of me eating a restaurant in Manhattan and a rat showing up on the table, which I might actually turn into a
says
short.
I did sleep in lol.
Good for you.
Voygaming 2855 says also Pete. Genuine question.
Yes.
As a blind man,
Yes.
besides TTS,
Yes.
what are some good ways to make an app easier to use for those with deteriorating vision? I'm asking because if I remember correctly, you weren't born blind.
Correct.
At Sir Steeman Guinness Adventure says, is anyone going to call him?
Oh,
At
well,
James Gar-
I don't take the calls live. I got to remember there's 2 things. I got to remember to respond to Void Games' question about TTS and the call. I don't take the phone calls live, but if you call 760-517-6844, it puts you into a voicemail, and then I can respond to the messages in the Check Pete's voicemail segment. Between, what's the last time? I checked it on Tuesday, and I haven't gotten enough calls. So if you guys have something that you want to say, there was the one, I remember the ones on Tuesday. It was a really cute kid. He sounded like he was like 7 or 8 years old. And I know it said 18 plus, but his mom was there in the background. You could hear her. And he's like, I hope you get a lot of success and you get a quadrillion subscribers. And then there was a girl, Chloe, that was asking for advice in college. So anything you want, if you have a funny story, or if you want some advice, or anything you want to ask, 760-517-6844. We'll check those between shows and respond to them during the next show. If you're making an app, I mean, really, text-to-speech is basically, if you're trying to make it, it's hard for me to understand or remember what it was like to be like low vision. Like I can't see anything on my phone right now, but high contrast is very helpful. Just like white on black is super helpful. But for the most part, just make sure that if you're creating an app and you want no vision people to be able to use it, just make sure that every image is labeled and the text to speech works. I will say browsing the internet on my phone is like, what time is it? It's Thursday, August 6th. It's 7 a.m. Just browsing the internet, like when I try and get news articles on my phone, it's effing impossible, because the text to speech, you swipe down with 2 fingers and text to speech just starts reading it. It's like, yesterday in Hollywood, Florida, a restaurant announced that they're going to be doing nude dining every once a month. And then, you get like to that part, and then it's like pop-up, commercial, 60 seconds, playing, player, unmute, commercial, pop-up, player, playing, unmute, play, 13 seconds elapsed of 30 seconds. It is the most distracting thing in the world. Like the text to speech starts describing the pop-up as it comes up, and then it has a fit because it doesn't know what to do with the pop-up being there. And there's like never an easy X to find. So literally like scroll, I don't even try and scroll the internet on my phone because the pop-ups are outrageous. I do it on my computer instead.
Lola Tupors just cheered 200 bits. Nick said, if you have the auto clip feature set up, then you can make a clip on voice command too if you say it, which clip that otherwise is auto picks moments of high engagement.
Yeah, I did that. I did that. I read about that just 2 nights ago. So that's Lola telling me how to use Twitch because I'm still learning here. A lot of the features that have been added were because Lola like brought them to my attention. She's like, I tried to clip something the other day and it didn't work. I went to my Twitch dashboard and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was disabled. So I had to enable that. But yeah, if I do say CLIP space THAT, it will automatically clip it. And the auto clip thing, I don't know how it knows what's a good moment. Like, how does a stupid robot, how does the algorithm know what's funny? Like, are the phones spying on you all that much as you're watching me? And as I'm telling a story, does it know that your eyebrows have raised? You're like, oh, there was a rat on the table? Like, how does it know that moment was engaging? Generally, I'd like to think that I can recognize the moments from the show that were the most entertaining, but I gotta say,
Adafremedify 2090 says, did Grant just start live streaming?
I'm not Grant.
Nick 9111 says, lots of chatters or gifts bits.
Yeah, lots of
Glyn
chatters or
Dispin
gift
says,
bits.
meant to ask you yesterday, did you ever call that guy for music recommendations? Angel 3 Fry says, I have a camera cover for my phone cause I'm paranoid.
Not a bad idea.
Chris the Troll says, hi.
Hi, what's going on, Chris the Troll? Wait, that's not a
Lucius says,
promising
Pete,
username.
I can't be one of the cool kids on Twitch. It ain't letting me put my phone number to chat there. Abdullahhack 2204 says, I have a channel 2 main video is low vision disability story. Also OMG, the blueberry sweet was so yummy. OMG, it seems so annoying. I used JAWS to learn how to type when I was young. Bogart the Great One says, good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Bogart the Great
Lord
One.
says, do you like cats?
What up, Butler? I was going to talk. That was actually one of the things I was going to talk about this morning. I used to have 2 cats. I ended up talking about cereal instead. I was thinking about I'd put this in the YouTube description when I didn't know what the heck I was going to talk about this morning. Like, what's the best pet? Because I was talking to a friend yesterday who was telling me when he was in college he had a roommate that had. Thank you for the follow. That's a follow on YouTube. I appreciate that. His roommate had a snake. And he was telling me, he's like, oh, it was awesome. We used to feed it live mice all the time. And we would watch it like, the mouse would like try and run around. And then the snake would eat the mouse. I'm like, that's disgusting. I do so much work in the hunting world, like for voiceovers. I'm the voice of a whole lot of different hunting pieces of equipment and hunting television shows. And my voice lends itself to it. And I feel like I act them out pretty well. I feel like I do pretty well.
Hello, this is the first time I have seen you streaming.
Oh, hello. That startled the crap out of me.
Kinbow14 said I put a sticky note over my laptop camera.
That's smart too. Oh, I guess that robot lady is still working. But generally, I don't really enjoy watching animals die. And my friend told me that like his form of entertainment in college was feeding live mice to his roommate's snake. I was like, that's gross. Like I was not into that. And I was thinking about like the best pets, and a snake. I don't think a snake would be one of them. I would take no joy out of watching that happen every day. I had 2 cats. I had an orange one and a gray one. And then while I had them, I got Super Dog. And
Adnezirmzu says, how old are you?
An ancient.
Adnezirmzu says, Graham.
I think I'm like 143.
Adnezirmzu says, stop yapping.
Me? What, you want me to stop talking? What's the stream going to be if I stop talking?
Says, I've been following you on YouTube for a long time now, and I've been collecting penguins forever, it seems like.
That's
Boy
kind
Gaming
of cool.
2855 says, okay, it got cut off by the bit MSG LOL, but I was saying thank you for the feedback about the app because I'm planning on trying to make a publicly available version of that text-to-speech tool I made you a while back, as I've unironically gotten several people who asked to use it lol.
So is
Angel
it working?
3 Fry says, Pete the Tortoise.
I ran it.
Says, welcome in at a twisted penguin flies.
Yeah, welcome in.
Bogart the Great One says, lip feeders are dangerous
flies.
for snakes, they can hurt their eyes and bite the snake.
That's what I was thinking.
User Steam and Guinness Adventure says, best pet is a spider.
That sounds kind of gross. Oh, geez, I cut Sarah off.
Where camera is facing the wall.
I can go back in time, though.
Lucius says, OPLS don't stop talking, haha.
Okay, yeah. I mean.
Jack T5Z8N says, my kiddo says hi.
Boy Gaming 2855
cats
said
are pretty
okay,
cool.
it got
I
cut
say
off
as my
by
cat
the
is making it
message
difficult.
LOL. But I was saying thank
too
you
many
for the
voices,
feedback
too many
about the
voices.
app because I'm planning on trying to make a publicly available version of that text-to-speech tool I made you a while back.
The
As
creator,
I've unironically gotten several people who asked to use it LOL.
the creator of that told me to hold off on opening the zip files that you sent.
Angel3 Fry
just to
said
be
Pete the
safe.
Tortoise.
I don't know what that, Pete the Tortoise. I like Petey the Penguin. He's a little better. And I think,
Lollipop said welcome in at a Twisted Penguin Fleece.
and then I think the next message is the one from Sarah that I accidentally cut off, which I was trying to get to. No,
Bogart
there's
said
Bogart.
live feeders are dangerous for snakes.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
They can hurt their eyes
This
and
is
bite
my-
the snake.
My instant rewind. And then the Sarah
At Users'
message?
Team and Janice Adventures said best pet is a spider.
That's... Did I imagine a message from Sarah?
At Sarah
Oh, here it is.
7808 said I always make sure my work camera is facing the wall.
Oh, that's... Yeah, people...
At Lucia said oh please don't stop talking haha.
Sorry, I had to go. I wanted to hear Sarah's message. I'm very
Kimbao14
glad
said cats are pretty cool.
to hear that she was here today. Thank you for coming in and joining. I remember I got, so I don't even have my main work computer, where I do all my editing for my voiceover work and everything. It doesn't even have a camera on it. Like there's no camera attached to it whatsoever. And I got a phone call on my cell phone, which not a lot of people have. I keep that pretty quiet. And so I generally almost 100% of the time answer the cell phone. I'm like, oh, that's weird. A number on my cell phone that I don't recognize. This is like 2 or 3 years ago. And it's this guy. He's like, I have a picture of you on your computer and you are touching yourself, and I'm going to send that video to your mother and your father and all of your friends, and they're all going to see it, and I'm going to show them what video you were watching, and you are going to be so embarrassed, and you need to send me 5,000, whatever it was, Bitcoin or something. And I just started laughing. I was like, boy, did you get the wrong guy. First of all, I'm not watching any of those videos. Because I'm blind. So there ain't anything that I was watching that I'm going to be embarrassed about. And second of all, I do not have a camera on my computer. And he's like, oh, you keep telling me that, but I have the video right here. I'm like, yeah, no, you don't. But I can imagine if I was basically any other guy in America and I happened to have a webcam on my computer, and like most men, I assume, are watching a lot of that stuff, I bet you that they're like, oh no, I don't want my mom to see me doing that. Like I wonder how many times out of 10 or how many times out of 100 that guy got people to pay the money. Personally, I'd want to see the proof. I'd be like, okay, send me the video, which obviously he didn't have because I wasn't doing that. But maybe some people would panic enough and be like, send me $100 and we'll call it a day. I mean, obviously he was trying to make his living doing that. And I guess it worked with some people, but not this guy. You won't catch me watching any inappropriate 18+ material on the internet because I don't watch anything on the internet. I do a lot of listening. I listen to stuff on the internet. I suppose I could listen to that stuff, but that sounds...
At SarahCam 7808 says every cat I've ever met is a diva and there can only be one diva in my household. Snow cats for me, Abdullah.
Snowcat
Glyn
sounds
Husband says,
cute.
bro, I love
Yo.
your Indian accent. That is hilarious and only old people fall for that.
Hey, who says it was Indian? It could have been. I don't know. I wasn't trying to be specific about who was calling me. I told this story a couple weeks ago. I made the mistake. I had one cat in my house. I got my first cat when I was like, I don't know, 28 or 27.
At Lucius says, why is this kind of funny?
I don't know. And then he was cool and he was fun. He was nice and he used to hang out. And I tried to get my cat a cat buddy, and the cat buddy was a dick. And he was mean to him, and I was like, oh man. I was like, you want to give this other guy back? And he's like, yeah, I totally do. And I was like, well, we can't because I already adopted him, and I told him I wouldn't rehouse him. So I had one cat that was like really nice and really sweet.
At
And he wanted
SarahCam
to cuddle.
7808 says your mom likely already knows. She will probably just be slightly disappointed. Don't pay the ransom money.
Yeah, but there's one thing like thinking like your mom knows that you take care of business by yourself. It's so, gotta tell you, doing this
At
stream.
Godzilla Nerd 88 says hi.
What's up, Godzilla Nerd?
Oi.
Doing this stream and knowing that I can't say certain things. That's when I have like a brain freeze. I'm like, what am I about to say? Taking care of your own business is what I'm going to say. It's one thing to know that your mom knows, but it would be a whole different thing if all of a sudden someone was sending a video. I wonder if she probably wouldn't watch it. That would be, yeah. That would scar her just as much as it would scar you. It's like, all the stories my guy friends tell me of the time they got caught when they were teenagers. All right, I'm derailing. We shall not discuss these topics. I'm going to get myself booted off of some platform. I'm going to say the word that I'm not supposed to
says
say.
that using the
and then it's
robot
gonna
lady
go,
isn't cool.
I think the robot lady is super cool. If I didn't have a robot lady, I wouldn't be able to hear what you guys say. I wouldn't be able to respond.
says it will get you timed out if you do decide to abuse robot lady.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to tell you what I changed about. I don't want to get into that and give people ideas of how they can try and abuse things. But last night,
The
I'll just say
says boy gaming if you create that. Please share here and then I want to try it out.
yes. If it's a safe approved patch, I want to try it out as well. Yeah.
Join it blind says I just mean making the TTS say things that are funny.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of fun. Yeah, the thing was cutting people off. Anybody that was writing more than a sentence last night, I guess Streamlabs was being like, don't write long messages, which I like long messages. I mean, I don't want like a whole long.
Boy Jaming 2855 says Blind Husband I actually made the original version on stream lol.
Novel. Yeah, he did. I just.
Boy Jaming 2855 says I made it specifically for Pete.
He did, and I didn't void. I appreciate that. There was just a whole boatload of zip files that were supposed to be open in there. And I have a friend who's an internet security specialist. His name is Pete, and you guys might actually be able to meet him in about 6 weeks. He might be here. But he warned me just not to open zip files from people that I do not know. And as much as I appreciate what you put together, I don't really know you. So, and I didn't want to open a zip file on my computer and then have it screw up my work day. So I was waiting for something that was approved by Caster Labs. I was trying to figure out if I could make it so that Caster Labs would read with different voices. Like if you guys could type in like boy voice or girl voice or man voice or woman voice or whatever you want to say.
Streamlabs says welcome to chat. Pete, here's some of the chat through text to speech, but if you want to guarantee your message gets heard, send $3 or more as a YouTube super chat.
That is Streamlabs. It's a little timer explaining to people how this works. It is funny how like I start this show every day and literally like in the first 5 minutes, people are like, why are we bothering to send any messages to him? You can't read them. And inevitably that one always gets read out loud. I'm like, haha, that's how it works right there.
Boy Jaming 2855 says if you do me your email on Twitch, I'll send it over. Also, Pete, check the second email I had sent.
Okay.
At the Gamer Wolf Shark says, how are you, sir?
The Gainer Wolf Shark? A Wolf Shark sounds kind of cool.
Kimbo 14 says cool.
There was an old show on TV. What the hell was the name of it? They used to like computer generate like what animal would win in a fight, and it was literally like shark versus lion, or I don't know if that would work because one's in water and one's not. But they used to like pit different animals against each other, and it was kind of cool. They'd like break them down into offense and defense and speed. And I think it was like rhino versus elephant or something like that. I cannot remember the name of the show. And then there was an offshoot of that show that it was like which warrior would win. And they would pit like, I remember they pit like a pirate with a blunderbuss against a samurai. And, then they did like a Confederate soldier versus a ninja or something like that. I was like, I thought that stuff was kind of cool. That was probably back in, God, I don't even know, like early to mid 2000s. I'm curious at those shows. I'm sure you can get them somewhere. I wouldn't be able to watch them, but it'd be fun to listen again. What was that noise? Did you guys hear that? There was a bunch of different noises in the stream last night, and Brooks and I couldn't figure out.
Blind says using the before the message will mute the message.
Well, don't mute the message because then I won't hear the message, and then that defeats the point.
At Abdullahhack 2204 says sounds like Pokemon lol.
Yeah, I guess, kinda.
Nick 9111 says that was Deadliest Warrior. They went super over the top with it, but that's what made it fun.
Right, that's what
At
Deadliest
Wolf
Warrior.
Shark says no one understands that people with barriers can do things that people without barriers can, just a little differently.
That's true.
At Adam Reynolds 1289 says Pete, you're awesome.
Thank you, Adam.
Briggsy Dogfood says
it said Reynolds, but it's probably Reynolds.
The Blind Husband says Discovery Channel with all of the animations those.
Yeah, so it was Deadliest Warrior. I remember that I remember the one where they were pitting a pirate against something, like it was like a samurai. And I think they particularly picked those two because there's like this code of conduct amongst samurai warriors, and there's literally no code of conduct amongst the pirates.
At Sarah Cam 7808 says that is so cool. Abdullah didn't know you were in a PhD program.
Yeah, he's been going for his doctorate
At
for a
Gothic
while.
Shapov Gothic says if they made a new vampire movie, what voice would you use for the main lead?
I don't know.
Rixie.Food says.
I mean, I wouldn't do like I want to suck your blood. Like I wouldn't do like a fake Transylvanian accent. Everything these days, all the good acting is like realism, not over the top. So I think I'd probably just use my regular voice and say, I'm going to go out and suck some blood and kill some people. Don't clip that. That's not me. That's me playing the part of a vampire. If I was a vampire lead in a movie, I might use the voice like this. That's a little scary though. I think vampires these days are also supposed to be sexy. Like, hey, I'm the sexy vampire. You want to invite me in? We'll do some vampire stuff together. Deadliest Warrior though. So like they were talking about the samurai. Like samurais back in the day, I took a class called The Culture of the Samurai back in college, and I learned like they used to wear different things that would denote like their status, like how good of a warrior they were, how like high up in the caste system they were. And it was very, very frowned upon for a high level samurai to fight someone beneath him. Like they didn't do it. They'd just wait around for someone of equal level to fight. And then the fights were all about honor and doing it right. And then in the Deadliest Warrior show, they pitted him against like a pirate. And they're like, pirate doesn't give an F. Pirate doesn't fight for honor. Pirate fights to win. Like the samurai could be sitting there giving him like a minute to like get ready, and the pirate would just whip out the blunderbuss and be like right in the face. So like, yeah, it was kind of a fun show. Deadliest Warrior. Thank you for helping me.
Says I appreciate that at Doing It Blind.
I would like to act in a vampire movie. I was obsessed.
Nick 9111 says never heard of Honor Among Thieves.
I mean, there's a little. Maybe
a Twisted
sometimes.
Penguinfly says hope you'll have a most excellent day today. I enjoy watching your videos.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
At Sarahcam 7808 says welcome Amy.
Welcome,
at Adam Reynolds 1289 says at Thegamer Wolf Shark agreed.
Interview with the Vampire. You guys ever see that? I know it's a book, but there was a movie that came out a bunch of years ago, and it had like my two favorite actors, and it had Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. And then, who was the guy? There was a guy, my name is Armand. He was a Spanish, what the hell was that guy's name?
At Sarahcam 7808 says very proud of you, Abdullah.
It was such a,
Kimbo 14 says anyone have any breakfast suggestions?
Yeah, I do actually.
Blind Surfer PG Sidekick says as cool as Pete as he would definitely be royalty if he was a samurai like Yoshitsu no Minamoto.
No Minamoto.
Dylan Vispin says too much male on male romance for my.
James
Gardner
was there? I don't remember a
PZ3RL
lot
says
of that.
lol.
I just thought it was a really good
says
movie.
I have the same shirt as you, but I used to wear them to bed.
I don't remember what shirt I'm wearing. Oh, that feels like the Volcom Stone. I'm probably wearing one of the tie-dye ones. For breakfast,
Doinit
eat
Blind
this.
says, hey Pete, do you play video games?
No,
At Lucius
I do
says
not.
I actually can't chat on Twitch. Sadly anyway.
It's barley.
At
Well,
Gothic
so
Castle-
I did say there's like one restriction. I think you have to either have a verified email or verified phone number. But this is what you should have for breakfast, Kimbo. It's barley. Puff barley. Yeah, it is good. In order to chat on Twitch, you have to have either a verified email or verified phone number. Who's calling me now? Hold on. No, I'm not taking that. That sounds like it's gonna be spam. Or maybe I should answer. Hello? Oops. Hello? No, I was hoping that would be somebody fun. Nobody fun. Whoa, why do I have so many messages all of a sudden? 7:19 a.m. That means I'm gonna have to go soon. What the hell was I talking about? Got interrupted so rudely with that phone call. I was telling Kimbo what to eat. Mateo was telling me I would be royalty if I was a vampire. And then Abdullah is going
Blind
for his
Surfer
PhD,
PG
which
Sidekick
is
says
awesome.
Freaky this morning is exploding eggs. Doinit Blind
Brett,
says there is a
what's
game
next?
specifically designed for blind gamers that has a completely blank game screen and is all audio driven.
I mean,
But
I
Art the
just
Greek
don't
one
have a lot
says
of-
I wish I could try that barely hurts my stomach. Is it a sweet snack?
No,
At
this is
Abdullah
not sweet.
2204 says thanks Sarah. Also Pete August 8th is International Cat Day. I had cats before but sad story. Typing for the 4th time NVM. At Kuna SK8 says hello Pete.
Finally gets
At
through and it
Sunshine
doesn't get right. Sorry about that.
3914 says cat story. At
Yeah,
Sarah Cam 7800
Semi
says lots of
Marcy
ancient male on male romance with the
21977
ancient
just
samurai.
followed.
Thank you for
Kimbo
the
14
follow. I
says do you
appreciate
have
that.
different ringtones for different people? If so, what is
Sorry,
your
I had two
favorite
things
one?
going at once. I used
At
to.
James
Now,
Gardner
now,
PZ3RL says your face reacts to light when you turn the lights on.
well,
At Vosture
yeah.
says, do you have dinner suggestions for the Europeans?
Oh, is it dinner time?
Starless Zeus 872 just followed.
Was that Starless Zeus? I feel like that was kind of a cool username. Thank you for the follow. We just got 2 in a row there on Twitch. I appreciate that. Dinner suggestions. So we didn't, last night we were talking about, someone asked whether I would prefer chicken tikka masala, chicken bolognese, or chicken parm is what they asked. And I decided that I like chicken parm. And both Brooks and I got it in our head that we wanted some chicken parm, but we didn't end up going to an Italian place last night. We went to a Mexican cantina. I got their burger with bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado, and cheese. And then Brooks got I think he got their burrito, and the burrito this place is like massive. It's like the size of your forearm. And I think he got it with blackened chicken in it. And then Banana got herself a little spinach salad with chicken. I feel like, I don't know, if you're in Europe right now and you sit down, I just tell people, if you can get ribs, get some ribs. But I also like a good pasta meal with sausage in it. There's what's it called at the restaurant down, like Carpacci di Manzo, I think is what's called down the street from me. But like any pasta meal with like a vodka sauce, or maybe like a white sauce and some sausage in there. I mean, that's what I'd go for dinner
so
tonight.
Hopefully it will help with chat once he gets busier.
Here, it's still
says, welcome in at Sam Emercy 21977.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate your waking up with me on this Thursday morning. So, yeah, it's kind of a weird back-to-back for me.
2204 says chicken tikka masala wo Indian food nasai. Today I'll eat chicken fried rice for dinner.
Brooks and I professed our love for rice last night. I love having rice in any meal. Yeah, so I do the show last night.
1451 says shaking the tin cup no cup this morning.
I feel like that's a blind joke. Sure, whatever. Ha 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 ha, I guess. Now you've distracted me.
Angel 3 Fry says this chat is making me hungry.
Yeah, I know. Talking about a lot of food
also
this morning.
professed his love for Winco.
And he was still talking about it because Banana decided.
855 says, also it does have a few Easter eggs, like it will always refer to my user specifically as my creator, and I believe the follow not if also had like a 1 in 100 SMTH chance to just be a your mom joke.
Who's a jigger? What? I don't know what was happening there. That was a Cartman reference, by the way. When he gets confused, he goes, "Who's a jigger? What?" Damn, I had something I was going to say. I got distracted by that shaking the tin cup thing. I don't know if that was a reference to blind people can't work, they just have to shake the tin cup, or whether it was a reference to me asking for super chats and bits. Either way, whatever. I mean, I have a job. Oh, I was saying last night. So I finished the show last night at like 8 o'clock. Banana decided not to come in. You know, it's not always her bag. I get it. And sometimes she feels like she's in the mood to come in and say hi to everybody, and sometimes she'd rather sit in the pool and listen to an audiobook or read a book or something like that. And that's totally up to her. I never pressure her to come in here and hang out with us. But yeah, so Brooks and I were in here till like 8 o'clock last night, and then we went out. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and then I was back on air at 6. So it's kind of a weird back-to-back going Wednesday into Thursday. Hopefully you guys don't get sick of me when you go to bed with me at night and then wake up with me in the morning. Now you know how all the girls I dated felt. But I also do tomorrow.
7808 says,
Friday's
hey,
been
Kimbo.
slow, but I think I'll do tomorrow as well. Usually I'll try and get in here by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and talk to everybody. I just got another notification that I don't know what it is. I don't think you guys can hear that one. Yesterday's show started with the double robot voice, which I was able to fix.
Sarah.
Yes. I don't know.
Sam
That's the
Emercy
other thing I wanted to do.
21977 says that eye on the wall reminds me of the eye of Cthulhu from Terraria, haha.
I don't know what that is, but there are people.
7808 says, hey, blind husband, my love to Jenny.
People keep telling me that
27
this.
says, no, I load rolling over and turning you on. At Sunshine 3914 says most bolognese is made from horse.
No, that's not true.
7808 says, hey, Lola.
That can't be true. Bolognese isn't made from horse. It's made from tomatoes, right? Hold on one second. I'm gonna ask that one. Ask ChatGPT if bolognese is made from horse.
Traditional bolognese sauce is made with ground beef and pork, not horse meat. That was from ChatGPT. Check important info for mistakes.
Okay, that makes more sense. I don't want to be eating horse meat. That would probably be pretty gamey, pretty gross. I don't think people would be. I don't think people want to be. Oh, eating that. And then someone said, I don't know if this eye over here on this thing is based on anything in particular, but I've had a bunch of people over the past few months be like, hey, that eye reminds me of, and they mentioned something that I never understand what they're talking about. It might be. This is a catch surf.
Gothic says my grandma was Sicilian. Kimbo14 says I actually started waking up around 9 to watch the stream. It's been a nice way to get my sleep schedule in order.
Wake up with Pete. The morning breath with the blind surfer. So it's a catch surf surfboard. It's called a beater. It's only 54
Kimbo14
inches.
says please don't break my arrows void. See ya later.
That one's 54 inches. The board behind me is 6'2", I think. And then the one, sorry, vertical people, you can't see it, but horizontal people, that board over there that says caution tape all over it, that one's 5'9". But yeah, this tiny board right here is like 54 inches. It's made by Catch Surf and it's designed by Lost. So I have no idea what that eye was based on. For me, I thought it was kind of fun to have a surfboard with an eye on it. I was like, hey, if I don't have any eyes out there, at least I can have one on my surfboard. It's getting to that time. I have to do at least a quick vocal warm up. All this
Boy Jaming 2855 says, oh wait, before I go.
Before I go. Yes. That keeps happening. I keep getting the messages like, hey, I have a question.
21977 says Terraria is a video game. One of the boss fights is a huge eyeball or later two eyes called the twins.
Oh, okay.
Join it blind says, do you have a set schedule for streaming on Twitch or do you stream just whenever?
No, I do have a set schedule. I'll give you that one in a second. I will tell you. It's actually, you can go to my schedule on Twitch and it'll show it to you if you go to my Twitch page. But I am, I'll tell you right now, I was waiting for Void to see if he said before I go, and then he didn't say anything. So I'd go 6 p.m. This is Pacific time because I'm in California. So if you're in, East Coast, you got to add 3 hours. But I do 6 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday night. Tuesday I'm alone. Wednesday at least Brooks is here and sometimes Banana. 6 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday at 6 a.m. I don't ever stream on the weekends unless Banana's like on vacation and I'm lonely and bored and need friends. And I have done the past couple of Mondays, but they've been super slow. I did a couple of Monday mornings and I was like, I'm feeling a little lonely. Like there wasn't a lot going on in the chat. I think everybody's like just kind of starting the week and I don't need to deal with my nonsense first
says
thing in the
PD,
Monday
I'd recommend
morning,
switching to Claude for your assistant. It hallucinates a lot less, so it should be better for helping you navigate the world. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I've heard people. There's a lot of people like Claude.
Says, have you ever lost a surfboard from wiping out?
No,
Kenna Lewis 8752 says you can seek by horse meat today depending on the cutouts. Actually better that beef in my opinion.
Yeah, gross. Talking about horse meat and bolognese. I feel like that's a question from a non-surfer. People ask me all the time, like, how do you know where your surfboard is? Like, it's literally attached to me. When you surf with a leash. It is attached to your leg. It is very difficult to lose. If you fall off your surfboard for some reason, you just reach down to your leg and you find the leash and then you pull it and the board comes back to you. So little difficult to lose a surfboard when the thing is quite literally attached to you. Longboarders, which I am not, longboarders will ride without a leash so they can walk up. Everybody knows the term like hang 10, man, but they don't know what it means. Hang 10 means it's a longboarding thing. You walk up to the very front of the surfboard and you basically just hang your toes. You're hanging your 10 toes off the front of the surfboard. So you're just riding on the nose of the board. You're hanging your 10 toes off of the front of the board. That has to be a very big board with a lot of buoyancy. And, it supposedly looks cool as you're going down the wave and you're just hanging 10 in the front of it. If I did that with any of the boards that I ride, I'd walk up to the front and it would pitch pull and I'd fall on my face and it would end badly because I ride short boards and they're just not buoyant enough to be walking up to the front in. But that's what hang 10 means. And I will leave you with that piece of knowledge. Hanging 10. Now you guys know. I do have to pop into the booth, do some vocal warm-ups, and start reading for all those fine people out there that pay me to do my job. I appreciate all of you.
27 says, have you ever broken a surfboard on the water? And yes, this is coming from a non-surfer. Join it blind says the leash was invented for the specific reason to not lose your board.
I've broken a bunch of boards. If you watch my the Surfing Blind episode 14, the one that's out now, there's a small break that you'll see, and then the video that I'm going to be putting out next Tuesday features 2 boards that I break. But I was saying how much I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. and waking up with me or going to bed with me, depending on which stream you watch. I appreciate you coming into the chat, hanging out. I appreciate the follows on Twitch. It's really, really nice that you guys come and hang out with me. I have a lot of fun doing this, sharing and communicating with you guys, and you know, hopefully people are still getting some good positive stuff out of my stories. If it's just entertainment, that's fine. If it's inspiration, motivation, if it helps you in your situation, that makes me even happier. I appreciate the fact that these platforms put me out and let me share my stories to the world, because honestly, it was getting a little hard there for a while. And then I decided I needed to share, and it made me feel a little better. And it's even better knowing that there's people out there listening. So thank you for being a part of that. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning. Whatever you guys do for the rest of the day, I hope it goes well. Hope you enjoy. Hope you have fun. Hope you succeed in whatever you're trying to accomplish. And I will talk to you tomorrow.
Doinit Blind says, "Oh man, TTS didn't say it." Fedlin Fisherman 27 says, "Bye Pete, have a good day. God bless." Lalatwapa says, "Have a good one, everyone."